Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Libya, Somalia, and Sudan are the African countries on Trump's travel ban list. Those partially restricted are Burundi, Sierra Leone, and Togo. Chadian President Mahamat Idris Deby Itno reacted on his official Facebook page, saying Chad has neither planes to offer nor billions of dollars to give, but Chad has its dignity and its pride. Chad's foreign minister added that the government was surprised by this announcement and by the terrorism-related reason. The country has retaliated by suspending visa issuances to U.S. citizens. Elsewhere on the continent, in Somalia's capital Mogadishu, residents voiced their opposition to the ban.
The US is wrong to claim that Somalia is not safe. Somalia is secure and rich in resources. Security continues to improve each day and is increasingly reliable. The US should focus on its own security. Somalia is safe and does not need security assistance from the US. We are self-sufficient.
In Togo, which is among the 7 countries facing partial entry restrictions, residents of the capital expressed their frustration over the decree.
I am really affected by this decision because we too would like to come to his country to study, to do tourism, but we can do nothing because it's his decision, hoping for a good outcome, favorable for us young Togolese.
Meanwhile, Sierra Leone said it was willing to cooperate with the US.
Obviously, we would love to see our citizens not suffer restrictions and travel bans, and that they can travel freely across the world once they meet the criteria that are set. And so our attitude to this is, what more can we do? How can we collaborate with our US partners, with whom we have and believe will maintain a very good relationship?
Trump claimed the move was spurred by an attack by an Egyptian man in Colorado at a rally for the hostages held in Gaza. This even though Egypt was not included on the travel ban list. He said the most severe restrictions affected countries with what he called a large-scale presence of terrorists, inadequate visa security cooperation, and high rates of visa overstays in the US. The African Union said in a statement that the ban would harm educational exchanges, commercial engagement, and broader diplomatic relations built with the US over decades. It appealed to Washington to engage in dialogue with the countries concerned. Crystal Onkeo, CGTN.
So Africa once again finds itself on the receiving end of the Trump administration's actions, this time the new US travel ban and restrictions. Let's now take a deeper look into what this latest move by the US means for the continent and especially the targeted countries.
If we're looking at countries like Sudan, for them, it's a lot of this goes to their current context as well too. They're faced with a civil war, and a lot of refugees are coming out of that war. Then maybe for Chad, I mean, this also doesn't really come as a surprise, because Chad at the same time has tried to have a good relationship both with West, with France, and other partners. So there really isn't that much in terms of what these countries stand to really lose, because I mean, if you look across the continent, these countries are not really looking at the US as the biggest trade partner anymore. Most of the continent, if not all of Africa, is trading more with China, with the Gulf countries, with Turkey, the European Union. So the people-to-people exchange is still there. There's no doubt about that. And this is going to impact that. People are going to be able to travel as much to the US, or not able to travel at all. But I think overall, these countries, their economies are still going to function, and this is not going to dislocate the economic development in any way. If you consider the experience that President Ramaphosa had when he visited the White House, that for the continent was a telltale sign. I think the first indication that this administration in the White House doesn't really regard the continent in any meaningful way, other than maybe it's objective to get resources, critical and strategic resources from some countries like the DRC, right? Now, that treatment was frowned upon by several African countries, or at least people in several African countries. They protested the treatment of what is essentially Africa's biggest economy, and in many ways represents one of the success stories from an economic perspective. So if he's treating South Africa like that, then you can imagine what other countries, would think about their own engagement. But at the same time, now we're hearing that the Trump administration is planning to have an African leaders summit around September. So maybe that will provide an avenue for countries to actually have an engagement with the US to see what exactly can be done to improve their relationship